One of my favorite things about motorcycling is the wide variety of ways that you get to enjoy the sport. I mean, you can get little mini bikes, you can get crazy sport touring, giant motorcycles, whatever it is that makes you happy, there's probably an option to do it. One of my favorite niches actually involves three wheels, and it's the world of sidecars. As you can see, that's obviously what we've got in front of us today. Our friends over at Ural Motorcycles, their US headquarters are in Washington State. They've loaned us a gear up two-wheel drive model for Adam and I to try over the last couple of weeks. Now, one of the cool things about this, mechanically, it's basically a standard gear up model, but it's in a limited edition that they're calling the Caribbean, or this Caribbean blue paint job that you're seeing here. So it's a special paint job that they're doing. They're only making 20 of these for the North American market, so for the US and Canada combined. So very cool color and very rare to find it in this livery. When it comes to sidecars, look, there's gonna be pluses and minuses. For me, this bike, it's definitely an old design. It's a little agricultural. I find that charming, but it's never gonna be a sport bike. You're never gonna go fast. No problems there. Really, my biggest complaint as a California resident is you can't split lanes in this, or at least it's really difficult to, which does mean that it kind of hurts your momentum in traffic. But in the grand scheme of things, that's really not what this is for. It's a great in-town bike, exploration bike, and really one of the pros, or one of my favorite things about this, is it's so easy to convince a friend to join you. Obviously, if you're on a regular two-wheel motorcycle, there's a lot, I got some friends out there that won't join me, won't hop on the back for one of those, but anytime I show up in a sidecar, especially something like this, everyone wants a ride. And whenever I take a friend for a ride in a sidecar, I always end with the same move, something that they call flying the chair. People often ask how this works, and I feel I'm in a teaching mood today. So tell you what, let's spend a couple minutes teaching you how to fly the chair. So, flying the chair. If you have experience doing wheelies on two-wheel drive bikes, well, there's definitely a lot of similarities to it. At the end of the day, it's really all about physics. It's about upsetting the chassis in a certain way and being able to maintain it. And frankly, I think the first time you ever do a power wheelie on a bike, you get on it hard, the front wheel comes up, your natural reaction is to, well, at least if you're me, is to panic a little bit and go, what is this? Shut it down, and the front wheel comes down. The same thing is going to happen on one of these. When it comes to the design, the nature of how these sidecars are built, you can really huck it hard to the left side, and that extra wheel is going to provide you support. I mean, you can kind of have it pinned, and you're going to end up spinning the rear wheel as you do left-hand corners if you wish, if you're a little bit of a hooligan. But if you're turning to the right, if you do have a bit of speed going to it, well, physics, and it's just the wheel and the whole chair is gonna come up on you. And the first time it happens, what happened to me, I freaked out and immediately did what I could to just bring it back down. But at the end of the day, if you are, if you're riding sidecars regularly, that's gonna happen, and you're gonna have to understand how it works and get used to it and get comfortable with it, just to keep yourself on the road and then later to have fun and scare your friends. I'd say the easiest way to get started with this is basically just to do right-hand circles at full lock. And as soon as you pick up any sort of speed, this is gonna come up on you. You're gonna wanna fight the natural urge to just turn back to the left and have it come down, and just ride it out. You just try to get a feel for, it's almost like when you're first learning how to do the clutch. You get that friction zone, same thing. You're just feeling for where it's about to start coming up on you, because the bike completely changes at that point. It's a three-wheeler, and then as soon as that wheel comes up, well, now you're on two wheels, and the bike handles differently. So you just gotta practice that. Again, just start full lock, right-hand turns, and wait until the wheel comes up and kind of work with it and balance that. So here's an example. So full lock, I'm not even doing 10 miles an hour right now, and now it's up. Now it's down. So you just kind of learn, you get used to it. There we go. And you just keep doing this. It's nothing fancy. You can kind of cover the brake to slow it down. You don't want to flip over, obviously, but with more practice, you'll get used to being able to do this, and then eventually, you'll just be able to have the sidecar up while doing a complete circle. And then you know you're getting somewhere. once you can do that, you're gonna wanna graduate to basically being able to do it in a straight line. And the thing is, as you've seen, just turning it to the right is gonna make that happen. But generally, if I'm in a straight line and wanna fly the chair, I'm gonna kick it to the left first so that when I turn right to get the sidecar up, then I'm at least vaguely traveling in the same direction that I was before. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, so we're gonna just be going here. I'm just doing less than 10 miles an hour, quick move to the left, and then kick it up with the right. And this isn't fair, actually. Realistically, what's gonna happen the first time you do this is you're gonna do this, you're gonna kick to the left, you're gonna go to the right, and you go, what the heck, I hate this, it's gonna come back down. But that's fine. The idea is you can basically just use this experience to kind of get used to when the sidecar comes up on you. And then once you do that, it's all about maintaining balance. And there's two ways to do it. One is gonna be how you're steering, and one is gonna be how much your body weight is hanging off as a counterbalance. So you'll kind of find that balance. I've got a nice line, yellow line here that you can kind of use as reference to make sure you're going straight, help yourself out, that kind of thing. But you just practice by doing this, and soon you'll be able to just kind of do this on the street. Not that I would recommend it. It's nice to be able to do this if you need to get over something, like a bump in the road or a pothole. You can just kind of quickly lift it up and get it over. But you can do this, you start building up speed, you can shift to second gear just like this. You can thread the needle and go past riff, filming on the camera, that kind of thing. So, and you can see here I'm turning left. This is a bit harder, we'll talk about this next. But you maintain it this way, and like I said, so I'm gonna find that yellow line, all about balancing. I'm doing most of this with steering and a little bit with my weight. You don't need to be a huge person to balance this, but you just get used to it, and you're just riding the edge of the tire. And when you bring it down, one of the things you're gonna wanna practice is how to smoothly bring it down. You don't want it to crash on you. You can kind of feel that. This is sort of like a wheelie in a sense where you think about when you get on a power with a wheelie, it comes up, and if you get freaked out like I did the first few times I was doing wheelies, you come off the throttle and the forks come crashing down to the ground. The same thing can happen here. You get it balanced up, and if you just let it, gravity will bring it down pretty hard. So you want to make sure that as it's coming down, you're trying to make that smooth with a combination of steering and body weight. So you can kind of lean against it. You can also turn to the right a little bit to make that more gradual and smoother. Another thing you can practice is trying to do this, trying to keep it balanced without using any throttle. So obviously it's going to eventually pull the right on you there, but that's it. Those are the first two things I want you to practice: being able to turn right in a circle until you get comfortable with how it balances, and then being able to do it in a straight line. Honestly, for me, one of the hardest things once the chair is up, is to be able to turn left. You really do have to get your weight into it and fight the natural urge, because as soon as you start turning to the left a little bit or anything like that, the chair wants to fall down. So I'm going to try to show it to you, but we'll see how it goes. So once you've got it up, like I said, this really is only a slow speed maneuver, but you just kind of want to use the steering to help yourself. But I've also got a lot of my weight over on the left side to be able to do this. And the best way to practice this kind of thing is by doing figure eights. You don't need a lot of room to do it, and you can just keep going in between left and right, find that speed modulation. Like I was about to lose it there, so I had to speed up a little bit. Here we go for a left-hand turn again. You know, you can put some cones out, that kind of thing. Practice the width of a road and give yourself the ability to do this. On one hand, is it silly? Yes. But it really is a valuable skill to being a proficient sidecar rider, to be able to do this kind of thing. And so that's why I think a lot of people are definitely capable of doing this, but they just don't get the chance to even try one, get the seat time, that kind of thing, and explore why sidecars like this Ural are a lot of fun. Of course, things are a little bit different, I should say more difficult, when you have a passenger in the sidecar. The nice thing is having a passenger adds to stability, but it also means it's harder to fly the chair. So you're gonna have to find someone that trusts you so you can practice this kind of thing. It's gonna require more weight, more counterbalance to be able to have someone like Riff in the hack there. So thank you for that. Tell you what, this thing's got reverse. Let's go back here real quick. Those are the basics. And look, I'm not an expert at this. I've just had lots of opportunities to try sidecars, so I kind of self-taught myself and it's been a lot of fun. Hopefully that gives you some motivation to try it for yourself, gives you some things to practice. If you are looking for more advanced techniques, things like that, please leave a comment in the YouTube video and I'll be glad to respond or put you in touch with other people who are definitely crazier sidecar experts than I do, or than I am, I should say. But hopefully at the end of the day, you just found this to be a fun primer on one of the more interesting niches of motorcycling, and hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching.